Hi everyone, see if you can see me there. We're currently are we in Richmond? We're in Richmond, Petersham area, overlooking a lovely view. Let me just quickly show you guys here. Sun's out today, and we're just gonna talk to you guys for a bit. So
Hi everyone, how are we doing?
This is Marcus.
God, look at these legs.
These
Jeez
quads.
Louise. Sorry about that,
Quadriceps.
guys. Let's put those away. Yeah, we're just chilling in Richmond. We went for a lovely run this morning in Richmond Park and just thought, let's just sit down and talk to the people for a couple minutes.
Talk to you guys a bit about everything that's been going on recently.
Everything's been going on.
Everything's been happening recently and lately.
The podcast.
The life of the mood booster.
Charlie and Marcus.
Everything's been going on.
Where it all came from.
Our journey so far. Releasing soon, isn't it? 2 weeks time, I think we've got, guys.
2 weeks from filming today. 2 weeks and 2 days. 2 weeks and 2 days?
2 weeks in 2 days. It is
So
indeed.
exciting.
Exciting stuff.
I'm
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
How are you feeling for the launch?
I am super excited. It's just been an absolute whirlwind and it's come around so quickly, as I knew it would, but yeah, we're here now and it's so exciting. And I'm just really trying to be present in every single moment because this is hugely part of it all. And yes, looking to the future, it's going to go all of these places and we're going to have all of these exciting opportunities and all these things. But right now, this is the magic for me as well. And this is we'll never have these moments again, and I'm so aware of that, and I'm just absolutely loving building this thing, being creative, coming up with these ideas, and just spending every hour being exhausted because I'm exhausted doing something that I absolutely love with someone who I absolutely love. So yeah, it's really nice. What about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, everything you just said, completely agree. It's been taking up all of our time, all of my spare time, but I wouldn't change what we've been doing for the world. It feels so right to be doing it. All of the hours which we're putting in, it just feels so unbelievably aligned to what we should be doing. So when it is midnight or 1 o'clock and we're absolutely frazzled, we're yes, this feels good. It's not a tired where you're stressed or where you feel like you're doing the wrong thing. It's a really fulfilling level of tiredness, which is lovely. Mm-hmm. And this is what we're getting from it not being launched yet. I can't imagine the level of frazzled and tired we'll have when we're working on growing it even more, which is lovely. So tired, a little bit nervous for it to come out. A lot of people are asking now, so people are clearly beginning to watch, but I'm just looking forward to it being out and seeing how everything changes once it does come out.
So this is where we're at right now. Let's take a whole huge rewind backwards. Where did it all begin? The fateful day. We know the date.
The cafe date.
No. In
May. May the 8th.
Is it the 8th? Okay.
May the 8th it is.
May the 8th.
May the 8th be with you.
We're going to tell you the story of the Mood Booster podcast and how it came to be right from the very beginning.
Lucky people. God.
From
you guys are tuning into this.
17th of July, 1996.
It was a stormy Wednesday.
It was a Wednesday. I was born on a Wednesday.
Was that your birthday you're talking about? Oh, of course, sorry.
It was a very warm day on the 17th of July, 1996. No, so the 8th of May. Take it away.
The 8th of May. Where should we start? So I saw one of my friends, Min. He works at running On shop as of right now, and he mentioned that there was a track day somewhere near where I was living in Mile End in Shoreditch. And he said, hey, you should come along. A lot of cool people are going to be there. We can test out our quickest miles. I was like, you know what? Sounds cool. About 2 or 3 days before, I think I was in the On running WhatsApp group chat, saw a message being put in by this random guy saying, hey, me and my run club are going to Lake Garda in November. Anyone keen to join, please join this WhatsApp group. So I joined the WhatsApp group. This was before the 8th of May. Signed up to the half marathon, not knowing anyone going. So come the 8th of May, I turn up with Min to try and get our fastest miles. I see Marcus there. I was like, I think this is the guy from the Lake Garda thing. I woke up to him and like, hey, my name's Charlie. Just so you know, I've signed up for the Lake Garda half. Really excited. Don't know anyone in your run club, but excited to go to Lake Garda. I've been once before. Started chatting. Everyone sets off on their miles. Weirdly enough, we paired together to do the last 2 laps of the mile run, don't we?
Yeah.
On the track. Instantly, Marcus is, unbelievably kind. He's saying to everyone, come on, bring it up for Charlie. I'm like, I do not know this guy. He's unbelievably kind, thank you. So we basically met there, got on super well. I mentioned that I'd come to a couple of your run clubs during that summer.
Yep.
I think I went to them. A couple of weeks later, I jumped the first Monday mood boost. I started chatting a little bit. we got a couple runs in, and then you messaged me.
Yeah.
I think it was about a month later, saying that you had a spare place to the Oxford Half Marathon, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I was basically said yes straight away, and that's really where it's sort of picking up speed.
Yeah, pretty much. I immediately was like, just love the energy of someone signing up to a race with a bunch of people they don't know and just coming along to that. I was like, that's already someone that I can get on board with. Like, that's such like positive yes person energy, and like it's daunting, but sod it, go for it. And I really appreciated that. And then Charlie came to the Monday Mood Booster, the run club that we have in London here, and from there just spoke a bit more, and then we were back and forthing about the Lake Garda half marathon, texting about like random things like car hire and flight times and all those things. And then basically Oxford Half, the company that run Oxford Half, had given me 2 places gifted really kindly, and I was working with them, and I was to make some content in exchange. And I was like, okay, well, I need someone good energy, I need like all of that sort of stuff for this, who's got good vibes, who is like, who can train and will progress and all those things. Had already been chatting.
It's amore.
It's amore.
It's amore.
It was this guy
This
here.
faithful chappy. I think, I've always loved the idea of just saying yes to the unknown. It spurs on so many opportunities in any walk of life.
Yeah.
So I think I was just super keen to, again, say yes.
Yeah, and you
I
said
loved
yes.
it. It was a spontaneity of it all. So
then we got loads of runs in training.
We
I
did.
think it was every Wednesday morning at Hyde Park.
every
we'd
Wednesday
go for
morning at Hyde
runs.
Park,
And
and
instantly,
the weekends we had longer ones
those
as well.
videos we made there, for me in my mind,
Loads
this
of
is
fun.
then getting onto the podcast. Those videos there were like still some of my favorite videos I made, just stupid, and like videos I've always appreciated from other creators, but I've never like had, I hate this word, but like the fluidity or like the humor in myself, just do that by myself. But I feel like it always works when you're bouncing off someone else to do those things. Like the silly, derpy, just jokes makes no sense, but like that's why it's funny kind of humor. I feel like when I'm doing that by myself, you can't really do that very well. But as soon as we were like filming together, it was just dumb and it was hilarious. And then I think subconsciously, basically from then, things were ticking in motion. I, for context, have been leading the run club, the Monday Mood Booster. I started it in October 2023 in London for the intention of bringing people together, making a more inclusive run club where people who are new to running weren't left behind because they were, I guess slow or slower than the main group, and just really wanted people to connect and celebrate each other's wins. So then we'd gone to Lake Garda in October, November time with the Monday Mood Booster, and Charlie was there and very much embodied that and was there as a hype man. He'd already run a half marathon or a couple half marathons by this point, and really took on the role of like looking after other people and like helping them smash their goals, because for them it was their first.
It gave me so much joy from it. I remember everyone was absolutely brilliant. There were 3 people who vividly stick in my memory who I actually helped. This isn't to say for anyone else wasn't, but there are 3 people I remember. Marky Mark being one of them. If you're watching this, a guy called Mark. It was his first half marathon. He hadn't run further than I think like 8K or something. He was absolutely struggling, and I was just screaming at him to get across the line. And as we finished the line, I've never seen elation like that in my life. The feeling I imagine is similar to drugs.
I'll never forget that experience.
That as he finishes the line, he asked me about a kilometre before, as we're crossing the line, can I please put my arm around you so we can finish with each other? I was like, what the hell was this? How is this so wholesome? So we finish and he just grabs us both. He's like, yes! Screaming to the heavens, to the high heavens for like this just incredible sense of joy. So that was one. Another was Jana, hadn't run further than 5K. Which is nuts, and she was at kilometre 19 just struggling.
Don't advise that, by the way.
We do not advise that, but let alone she still did it. At kilometre 19, she couldn't really speak, and I was just like, finish, lock in, just screaming at her as well. She absolutely loved it. And then the last one, what's Lucy's friend called? I've unfortunately, I know her Instagram is Sweet Quiche, but I've forgotten her name.
Says you've really put me on the spot.
Laura,
here.
Lana?
Yeah, Laura.
Is it Laura? Laura, of course. Sorry, Laura.
Laura.
So Laura she had run ahead of the group, and about 400 meters prior to the finish line, she was walking, and we were running up behind. I was like, Laura, come on, run! And she was like, okay. She was almost on the verge of tears. I was basically just... She was in tears, yeah. I was basically like, you finish this race right now. She like basically had to hobble the finish line. We all finished together. Similar to Marky Mark, she was overwhelmed with the fact that we all had finished together, and it's just so wholesome. So for me, it wasn't even that I was trying to do it to be seen to be helping others, it gave me so much for that.
No, of course not. And that's the thing,
Yeah.
like there's so much joy in the camaraderie and celebrating and winning with other people and like connecting through just absolutely seeing other people's lives be made and their it sounds cliche, but like running a half marathon is a lifetime achievement and seeing them
Mm,
achieve that and like yeah, like you say, hearing Mark scream to the top of his lungs, it was just a real primal scream. It was just so amazing.
yeah.
And seeing Charlie sort of encapsulate all of those things that I'm very proud to have in myself of wanting other people to win and truly like purely wanting that and not for any sort of selfless reasons. I guess it's selfless because I get enjoyment from it, but you know, I just really want to see those people win and seeing Charlie do that and all of that coming together. I just knew, I think seeing that the club and all of those people just winning. We have an ambassador who gave a wonderful speech at our awards night, Anna.
Oh, that was brilliant. I got goosebumps at that speech.
Yeah, she was like, we all have the banter, we all sit and laugh around, which of course we do. But what's really important is, as a club, we're here for each other and we celebrate together. But importantly, we pick each other up in the lows, and we're here throughout everything, and we know that we have each other for that.
Yeah.
And just seeing, I guess, leaning into it and being self-indulgent for a moment, like the fact that this is something that I facilitated and brought together, I was so proud
Incredible.
of, and allowing people to have this space, like 30 of us all together.
Everyone said it, that the fact that you had built this from nothing was the amount of, not the tangible things, but it was the spiritual thing, the spiritual energy that you had crafted from nothing was
And I truly feel that.
second to none to witness. It was unbelievable. To be a part of that was just so incredible, to witness what that did for people.
Yeah.
Random people from all different walks of life had come together because you chose to one day just start doing something.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think, thank you. I
That's all good.
see that, and that's one facet in itself that was like really bubbling and simmering away in me. Like this is something that's really happening here, and I'm really allowing to see this within myself and my own accomplishments and the possibilities here, coupled with at the same time Charlie and I are becoming very good friends. Like our friendship just peculiarly, like this isn't a normal trajectory of a friendship, but like accelerated like massively. I'm saying like so many times, but
a lot of comments from a lot of people being like, "What the hell are you two doing? Like you've known this guy for like 4 months. Like in the, it's like when you say it for like a relationship, it just feels right. Like
Yeah.
it just worked out well.
Was so much synergy in so many areas and discussions that we'd have. I just sort of never been able to. I guess for me, you know, when I lost my dad when I was 20 or in 2016, he passed away from cancer. I've spoken to people about it before, but was able to just immediately have conversations and go into areas of it that I had never really even done with, you know, being able to speak to Charlie. And we were just on similar levels for different things that were personal to us. And we'd really importantly challenge each other in those conversations and to not sit with what was comfortable and go further. And with always with kindness and compassion and never judgment, challenge each other and say, you know, do you think that you're being true to yourself here? Do you think you could develop that further? Whatever we were challenging, we were always doing that, and it just felt so sort of I don't know, such a space for development and growth, but also like because of there not being judgment, the safety as well, which is so important there. So then that coupled with seeing the club and all of the potential there and knowing that this is something that I always wanted to do, and then also the charisma that was bouncing off these videos, I just said to Charlie, I was like, right, we're going for coffee this random December morning. I've got a presentation, I've got a proposal for you.
At the time, we were booking in Scotland as well, for January time. And so when he was like, "I've got a presentation," I was like, "For Scotland? Like, we'd just go on a couple of walks. Like, why do you have to do a whole presentation for us?" So we sat down in the cafe. He opened the laptop, and on the screen it said the Mood Booster podcast. I was like, "Whoa, hang on a minute!" I was so thrown off by absolutely everything. I'm going to be honest, scared at first when you got the idea.
Of course.
Any change is scary. I've always been one. I think something that I've taken pride in myself is that I say yes to a lot of things. I'm quite adventurous and open-minded, but even this, the idea of this massive this open-ended idea, was quite scary to me initially. So when you opened it, that was my initial reaction. Now you very quickly talk through possibly what the pillars would be, what it would look like. At the time, Stephen apart now, I've been battling with, you know, senses of where I should be, just geographically what I should be doing. I know we've had a lot of conversations about, you know, like ideas of where one belongs or chasing one's jobs or dreams, whatever it may be. And so when you brought it to me, I was hesitant because I was very much in the mindset or in the space of, I don't want to be in London for too much longer. It doesn't align with who I am, all these things. all these ideas going around in my head, so that when you brought it to me, that was an idea, or that was part of why I was so hesitant. Very quickly, I went away, journaled and reflected really on what I wanted from it. And the main conclusion I came back to once you had presented it to me was, in every facet in life, at least in my life, you have two options. You have one option is to be a victim of your circumstances, or to be an opportunist of your circumstances. You either make use of what you've got or you fall victim to them. And I was like, right, I've been given this opportunity, objectively. Do I say, oh no, it's going to keep me in London, all these negative things, or do I lean into the idea that I've been given this opportunity and I can make use of it? I leant very quickly into the latter, knowing that this was a fantastic opportunity. Tried it out, tried it all, and I went back to square zero. I was exactly where I was back when you brought me the idea. But if it went well, the life could look completely different. And that idea, that was possibly the magic that I was looking for, spurred me with such excitement. And as I mentioned, it came at a time in my life where I was seeking this new opportunity. I had recently been through quite a tough breakup, so I was very lost. And as part of why our conversations were so nice was because it really allowed the space for me to be able to open up about everything. And I'd learned so much about how important it was to really try and dig into what I was feeling, what I was thinking, everything like that. So I was really, after giving it some thought, when you brought the idea of what it could look like, what it could do for me, it's never been an idea that I would have ever come up with myself, wanted to do. But when you brought it to me, it felt so right. And since, I think we can say, obviously, if we're not going to spur too far forward, since it's just spiritually worked out so well, everything's just fallen into place. And I think that is the path that life sometimes put you on.
Yeah.
Doors shut and doors open, but when it opens, it's not about leaning away from it. It's just letting your grip go.
I think there's two things from that I would want to talk to. Is firstly, what you're saying about where you came from and where you were at when the proposition came to you, and very much looking for an escape route and looking for something that wasn't the now and wasn't this present thing. But you didn't also kind of know what you were going for. You just knew what you didn't want, and were so set on this isn't for me that you were potentially, which we discussed, being sort of tunnel vision, shutting out ideas, shutting out opportunities, and not necessarily looking or finding that joy in that moment of the here and now, because you were so busy telling yourself that you weren't allowed to, or you shouldn't be enjoying this.
Yeah, because I had this narrative of where I should have been.
And actually, I'm being able to sit and unpack that and know that wherever we end up, you've been to Thailand for however long you were there for. You thought at one stage that was your
God-given path.
That was meant for you. You got there and you realised
it wasn't.
No, and we both know that actually in these things, and this is a much bigger discussion than right now, but we're so focused on where next and when I get this, when this thing, you live for the whens, you don't live for now. And you spend one can spend their whole life living for the when I move here, when I get this job, when that happens. What about today? We're so lucky to be here right now, and we have so much joy.
I think that's such a good point. Something that, literally adding on to exactly what you've said, I've learned so very quickly that these ideas of the future are all ideas of the ego. It's what one should be. And we were speaking about this in one of our episodes, is if you can let go of the ego, if you can free up what you think you should be doing or where you ideally vision. Now, this isn't to say one shouldn't have goals.
That's so paralysing as well, which is ironic.
It's so paralysing. If I know for myself, when I've let go of the ideas of the ego, of where I think I should be, what I think I should be doing, and just focus on the current moment, where I am and who I am right now, instead of these internalised ideas of what I think I should be doing, that is the magic in which I'm actually searching for from the ego-driven concepts of the future.
Yeah.
And it's so freeing.
And I think that the proposition came to you around a time that you were sort of working with that anyway.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would also just like to say here that, yes, it was kind of my idea, my proposition, and Charlie said, it wasn't something he'd ever thought of or wanted to do. I would very much say that it was the skeletons were there, and it was born out of the similar name to the Run Club and everything that we're doing with the Monday Mood Booster, and it very much aligns with all of that and is part of that. It's the Mood Booster podcast, but moving forward, the second Charlie took it on, it's become...
It would only work with both of us too. Yeah, it wouldn't work with anyone else.
No.
Or on ourselves.
No, and everything has developed equally. It's
Yeah.
not sort of
one-sided anyway.
no, and your passion is very much, even though it wasn't something that you necessarily had ever thought of.
It feels so aligned though with what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
Again, one of the main things that I've been learning very, very fast over these past 6 months is how important it is to really talk about what's going on behind the scenes, really open up. And it feels like the perfect platform to be able to really extend these ideas, which I'm still learning at my age.
Yeah.
As I mentioned in some of the videos which we put onto our Instagram, is that got two brothers who I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And I can see in a lot of people, not only them, but other people, it's quite difficult to open up truly about what you're thinking or what you're feeling. So something that I've cherished a lot in our friendship is that it's such an open and easy space to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And if we can just put that out there and show people and they can take anything from it,
Yeah.
it'd be that. It's find those open and safe spaces where you can truly talk about these worries or these pressures, and that's exactly where the magic will come from.
That as well, but it's also important to know that not everyone's always ready or will want to. So even
I've not been for the longest time.
No, and so even if that's not the case, and it's not something that people are like, oh, I can speak to someone.
No.
Even just seeing two people sharing their experiences, someone will be like, I'm not alone. Actually, there's two people here who are feeling maybe potentially the exact same thing that I felt, but I thought I had no one else knew how that felt, or similarly. So whether it's them understanding or getting to a place where they feel comfortable because they're seeing two other people doing it, or whether it's just them being able to relate to two people in itself without having to speak to someone, that is something that we both strive for and hope for, and know, even though we feel a bit egotistical saying, we know that is something this podcast will do, and we are proud to be able to bring that to people.
I think so.
For sure. So yeah,
that's where we're at right now.
That was December, and immediately, something about me is I have what's called the too much gene. I'm on a 1,500 day run streak.
He's also not very patient as well. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, at the age of 28, I've finished a PhD. These sorts of things, it's very much a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
I am very much, if I think of something and it's there and I'm passionate about it, you best believe I'm hyperfixating and it's getting done. To the point where this is the thing, and I'm not ashamed to say it, this is the thing I've been most passionate about ever in my life beyond my PhD.
I'd say the
I've
same
never
for me.
felt so much passion about anything. And to do a PhD, you're supposed, in theory, you're supposed to be passionate, and of course I was, but I've never felt so proud, passionate, and just to the point where I literally feel the burning inside of me, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm passionate about this project.
You get goosebumps when you wake up at 7 a.m. to go and record whatever it is, or just work on a brand. It's
the best feeling ever.
We were saying when we were in Leeds for a photo shoot how whilst we're striving for these goals and working towards the endpoints, it's the duration of the journey which we're on right now, when we're actively working on it, which is actually that feeling which I'd say people chase for that thing.
It's literally right now. It's us sitting on this bench looking out in the sun.
Yeah.
This is an absolutely glorious moment. I was going to swear, but we're on YouTube.
Please do not swear.
Please don't swear.
Please don't swear.
Oh, God.
Please don't. Oh, my stress level's high.
So, don't stress.
I'm going to do, guys, sorry, just give me 20 seconds. We're just going to do 4 deep breaths.
Okay. ASMR deep breaths. I'll let him do it. You guys go watch him doing his deep breaths. I think this is the second in and out. God, look at those quads. Those legs are on form. Jeez Louise. Crazy. And those calves. Don't mind the quads, look at those calves.
Namaste. Oh my God.
Give me a head back, Jordan.
Give me a head back, Jordan.
So yeah, that's where we got to in December, and like I was alluding to, we both of us, well, myself, too much gene, you very much have put everything into it as well, and we have just been going absolutely ham.
That's why the mix works so well, is because we both very much bring different things to this table, but I know for a fact if I wasn't doing this with you, it wouldn't be nearly as far ahead, because it's, of course, it's definitely a mix of two, but it's at 11 when I'm like, oh God, I'm tired, and you're like, right, we've still got 2 hours left. We keep on working because we have each other there to keep on pushing it.
Accountability,
but that's also, it, I think.
For me, is everything. It's why I set up the run club in the first place. I get so much joy, and I'm not ashamed about it. I get so much joy in life from sharing experiences and doing things with people. If I was doing this, there's a reason I've never done it by myself before, and I'm now doing it with someone, and it's the most enjoyable, pleasurable, I'm creating something with someone else, and it's like you're
Beautiful
sharing that
thing.
journey the whole time, and it's so exciting.
Yeah.
It's like I know that you yourself you enjoy solo traveling or whatever.
Solo
People love
time
solo
alone.
traveling. It's not something personally for me. I just want to experience things with people. I love experiencing things with people, and this
Yeah.
is why this is so much more enjoyable. Yeah, I have the impatience. You have the rational.
The rational head. I never thought I'd be the rational one. To be fair, you are very rational as well.
In different ways.
In different, I
yeah.
think that's it. We can't pin it down to certain qualities we bring. It's just a mix of the personalities which
Yeah.
adds so much to this, level of what we're
Definitely.
trying to build.
Definitely.
And to think that, a year ago I didn't even bloody know you.
Yeah.
Is bloody alright? Or are we going to
Yeah.
get
Oh, yeah.
demonetized?
No, I think that's okay.
Oh, golly. I think we've got a subscriber right now.
Oh, nice.
Lucas
Hello.
Holt, if you're looking, he's
Hi,
our
Lucas.
first subscriber.
Yes, Lucas.
Yes, Lucas.
Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate you, Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, from December to now, which today is the 8th of March, we've gone hard. We've filmed like 6 episodes. We've done so much marketing that we've absolutely loved, but it's taken loads of time outside of our full-time jobs.
Yeah.
We've got lots of things in the pipeline for few projects beyond the podcast itself. We've got
Yeah.
plans for the Mood Booster beyond the podcast, Charlie and Marcus beyond the podcast, and we're just, it's a big time, and it's so exciting.
This is one thing that I can sort of peel away from everything we're doing. I've known it before, but it's been so nice to be able to feel it truly through this whole experience. Is that whilst I still get feelings of anxiety here and there, the true feelings of action, pouring everything into doing something, creating, for me, I found it's been the main killer of anxiety. In times where I'd usually be very anxious for whatever reason, it's when I've been able to pour stuff in, we've been able to pour our energy and time into it. It seemed to really help with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's
100%.
it's just creating and finding something that we both very much align our values with and just like doing, enjoy doing, and be able to do that. As you've said, we're not earning anything, and it's very much on as a side project from our full-time jobs, but something I've never thought I'd do.
Yeah.
But it's weirdly become such a source of happiness. But that's coming from within us, not from this is what is creating the happiness.
This sounds again like a bit like, I don't know, I'm not going to preface it with anything. I'll just say it with chest. I feel so lucky to have found this.
I'm grateful to the universe.
For so long, even with my PhD, I was searching and I had this identity crisis in my career of I'm never going to sit on something, I'm never going to land where I need to be. I've done a PhD because, to be honest, I like it and I'm good at it and I'm good at research, but it's important. My research is very, very important, but it just never sparked that in me. And I also felt like I was always chasing the next thing of, okay, next achievement, to the point of like, you've just got a PhD and I am having a panic attack after my graduation because I don't know what job I'm going to do. And, I love my jobs that I have, but, I just have that whole career crisis defining thing of like, well, who am I? What is that going to be? And I've just now I feel really lucky that even though this isn't my career, I have jobs that I do enjoy. I still feel like I'm absolutely putting energy into something I'm so passionate about. It's a
spiritual career.
Yeah. So exciting.
That's it. I think I know I've lended ideas towards it previously through speaking, and I know you mentioned on my behalf the whole Thailand saga. But for me, again, my whole life I've had this, at least since I was 18, had this very strict idea of what I should be living like, where I should be living, the sort of quality of life, what I should be doing during these years. And so when I wasn't doing those things, it threw me off so hard to make myself feel like, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't living to my full potential. All these ideas swirling in your head, which just caused me so much anxiety. So that when we did this thing, or when we're doing this sort of, creation here, it's just taught me that you can step back from, relinquish the control I have over those sort of ideas and schemas. And it's actually, as I was saying with the ego, letting it go and just being present in, okay, whatever those ideas are, sure, they're there. Be present. What are you doing? How can you make this better? And how can I be happier right now? It's through doing this. And that's actually what has crafted so much more happiness. Or well-being and joy, rather than trying to force and grasp onto these preset ideas of where I think I should be.
Exactly.
And that's so nice, because it's actually what I was chasing, is if I just let go of that and just look
ironic,
inside.
Isn't it?
It's ridiculous.
but we all put it on
Humans,
ourselves.
we
and
do.
it
It's
to
all
ourselves.
self-inflicted. I think social media never helped with that.
No.
Parts of it, at
Or
least.
being in your 20s and having to get the job and get the thing, and
Yeah.
oh, you're in your 20s and you've been at the same job for 7 years. What are you doing? Don't you need to get a new job, sort of thing? And
Everyone
which is very
always-
much my
whenever you're-
reality. And I'm like, no, well, I
Yeah.
can't just enjoy my job and like. What's
Whenever
wrong
you're
with
checking in, so what's new with you? It's like, does there have to be anything new?
Yeah.
If I said to you I was happy, is that enough to fill your
What
bucket?
really triggered me is
I'm triggered.
I do it myself. I don't blame a single
Yeah.
person for asking. I finished my PhD. The next thing, what everyone says, oh, you've just finished a PhD. What do they say?
What's next?
What's next?
How about you, respectfully?
Oh my God! Stress, anxiety. I don't know what's next. My life is a failure, which obviously it's not, and that's just all of the inner demons coming. But it's like, can I just be in this moment? I don't know what's next, and leave me alone.
You just want to live under a rock and make sure no one speaks to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like Patrick Star and just be under a big
Leo,
old.
Leo. But yeah, so I think this is a nice little close up.
I think so. We're coming up on
We've done a lovely, well, our parking's
half an
going to run
hour.
out. So
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this YouTube.
yeah, I think it was really nice. Maybe next time we'll talk about a bit more about the podcast specifically.
Yeah, we've spoken a bit about us and these spiritual ideas, but
Oh, there's a biker down there.
damn, slow down, pal.
Yeah, this has been thoroughly enjoyable. I've loved this, and it's really nice. Just sort of, we do a lot of these introductory videos, but and I'm not moaning about it because
Don't
obviously social media is amazing in many ways, but we have to like 60 second, only introduce yourself in 60 seconds, and for me it's so stifling.
When I was trying to prang out, I was trying to record that video about who I am, and Jesus, it took me a while.
Yeah.
Our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ, it took me like 40 goes. I had half an hour of 40 minutes of just content about me trying to say something.
Why should we fit that into 60? Anyway, I love social media. It's great. It facilitates a lot, and we wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for social media.
No.
We're putting out a podcast on social media, but I just much prefer being able to sit and talk freely and not have to fit something within 60 seconds. So I am very glad to have this space, and I look forward to our next one where we can talk maybe a bit more freely about the podcast in detail.
I think so.
On YouTube.
Two guys doing everything but dropping the podcast.
Doing everything but dropping the podcast, because guess what, guys? Marketing is important. And when you work in marketing, you understand that lead times are important, and you have to garner interest and you have to garner engagement. So yes, 2 weeks for you because you're supportive and you really want to see it and you want to back us. It's a long time to wait to support your best friends and your sons and your grandsons and your cousins and all of those people that we are to you, and we love you for that. But 4 weeks is no time at all. It'll be worth the wait, and thank you so much for pestering us for it to come out, because it will be worth the wait, and we love you for supporting us.
Exactly that. All right, guys, we'll say bye.
Bye.
You go over here.
Oh, is this thing on? Is this thing on? What? Hello?
Oh, I think it is.
Okay.
Bye.